Or provide similar services to a library on the map.
Secret libraries.
You're looking for like bookseller or bookbinder or something like that. But an actual library, no.
Okay.
There is the library though.
Is that for leather? Wait, what uses lie?
The library.
Give me the backstory on that place.
Library is a bookseller.
Yeah.
It seems
No, I'm just going to see if
shady.
Yeah, that sounds just...
I'm going to see if there's a place for research
Deceitful.
at the
Not
academy.
What's that?
When we get to the academy, I'm just going to see if that's a place where I can learn things.
Yes. The academies are designed to teach you things.
In general.
Have we made it?
By this time, yeah. You
Okay,
guys
so I
are
do
standing outside. It's a big
I bet I can learn something.
big building. There are shields all like blazoned on it, and there are like trumpet
AC with
designs that have been built up into the architecture of the building, and it's almost like the front of a castle. And you can hear the clanging of swords in somewhere like in the distance behind the building.
So,
Can you hear?
I'm
I'm walking.
So the nobles here
front gate,
come to this academy to be like you.
or the ostentatious.
The ostentatious,
front, eloquent,
the moat, and
warrior like.
Charming.
get up. So basically a little mini moat.
There was
with
three
a
things.
little
I think
drawbridge. So
Thoroughly annoyed.
there's two nice big wooden double doors with a little sign that says apply for
Fun.
dang, lost the phrase.
Free.
No, like apply for studentship or
Admission?
Admission. Thank you. Apply for admission with N.
Okay. It's written on a piece of paper or something?
No, it's like on a little
Permanent
wooden
affixed.
board on the door.
I was going to vandalize it. But instead I'll just walk in.
Fireball.
Okay, you walk in and it's inside. It's designed to be like a big cavernous stone castle as well. There's a desk, and there is a clerk sitting at the desk, and he is dressed in like a light armor. And he's got some stacks of books, and he's writing. And he looks up as you walk in, and he stands up and he says, "Welcome to Sir Roland's Academy, the finest training school in Solatris and around for paladins and knightly scholarly gentlemen. How can I help you today?"
I'm looking to speak with a student of yours, Penderley, of Parcel
Yes.
Privacy.
It's of some urgency, if you could please gather in for me.
I'm sorry, we don't just pull students out of class for random strangers.
My name is Renlin Thien of House Thien out of Sapphire City.
I'm Ranger Joe.
I'm currently, myself and my compatriots here are currently assisting the House of Parblesea
Kabar.
in locating their missing daughter.
Yes, of course. I forgot about that. Yes, I will summon, Sir Penderley in just a moment. However, I have noticed your good friend here. You look like you could do with some scholarly, knightly training.
I assure you, he does not.
Why does it have to be at night?
No, like, to become a knight.
Oh.
You'll learn to be more eloquent
I'm good.
and loquacious.
That doesn't sound...
Is there a word of the day thing on that desk?
Liquid? Is it...
You'll be the most chivalrous person around once you attend some training classes here at the Academy of Sir Roland.
I'm trying really hard, but my helmet doesn't even work with your words.
I think what Kabar is trying to say is that he does not lie obsequious, content on his laurels.
Now,
It's a
right
dialect.
now, you are just Kabar, but a few training sessions here, you could be Sir Kabar. How does that sound?
You know as well as anybody that that's not how you become a sir. Please, just round up the boy so that we can be out of this.
But
godforsaken building.
I could be a sir.
I can call you Sir Kabar if you want. It's meaningless.
I didn't earn it though.
You won't earn it here.
You'll earn it.
You will waste your money here.
Get a certificate and everything.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it like
Certified
teach
service animal.
techniques, fighting techniques,
No.
or
We do that as well.
Kabar, stop asking. They're not going to
But
teach
man,
you
like,
anything.
it doesn't
You want
seem
to
like
know.
you need the training and combat as much as you need the training in diplomacy, chivalry, and general.
It sounds like one of those phony buy college scholarship online deals.
Yes,
okay?
and Renlith
Because
knows it right away.
I'm a lordship.
right?
That's kind of what I'm going for.
Oh, okay, so I start picking up
Yeah,
on
yeah.
So I'm going to start.
He's
I'm gonna
he's
start.
not savvy for this kind of stuff.
I'm going to
so-
start muttering.
Ask me if it's accredited.
Prestidigitation to blow all of the papers.
Oh no! I'm going to. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to pick all of these and resort them
That's
before
great.
I can go summon Sir Penderley.
I'll go get him myself. And I
Oh,
start
I'm
walking.
sorry, but without.
I start walking.
Sure, I can't have you just go tromping through the grounds.
Tell me more about this class or this academy.
I walk right by him.
No, don't look at me, not him.
Always trying to make a sale, he stops and shuffles his papers a little bit and says, "Oh yes,
Inadvertently
Teamwork.
helping, but not on purpose.
Yeah.
So you walk into basically a hallway. There's doors on either side of you, and they've just got letters above them.
Just letters.
Just letters.
P for purple C.
Okay.
There's 5 doors on the left, and there's 6 doors on the right, and there's 1 door straight ahead.
Just solid doors.
They're wooden doors, all identical.
Wait, where am I?
No, I don't
think
know.
you're still with
I'm
me.
here with him. I walk back.
I wasn't
Say-
stealth in.
A secretary. Which one is Panderly in?
I'm sorry, oh yes, I will get him, just one moment, let me finish collecting
No.
these papers.
Just go ahead and just finish up with
You know
him
where
and
he
we'll
is.
talk.
You know where he is. Just please. It's kind of urgent.
Yes, well, these papers just blew off my desk without any notice, and I need to make sure that I collect them before I forget the place.
Let's go.
Oh, just one moment.
Okay.
Yes, I'm done now. Oh, yes, let me collect Penderly, and then we can continue our discussion about your entrance fee.
Oh, of course.
So
yes.
as soon as he leaves, I'll turn to you guys and be like,
You have to pay for this place?
Kabar, you would never want to come here. This place is a racket.
But he made it sound
That's
I could be
what's.
sir.
You wouldn't be a sir here. That's a whole different thing.
He
To
lied?
be yes, that's a sales tactic. In the city, you'll find a lot of that.
Oh.
Liars, people looking to take advantage of good people. What I recommend
You don't have that with the orcs.
is
It's very straightforward.
one of my best strategies in dealing with these people, other than what you've seen me do, which is just be rude.
That's just normal.
Just ignore them when they talk to you. Just don't say anything and just look at them.
How do you know?
How do you know
if
what?
they're trying to?
Well, if when in doubt, you can ask me.
Okay.
Do you want to check the guy's room while he's here?
Okay.
I don't know where that
I'm
is.
learning so much
Find it.
today.
You can. I don't want to spend all day here though.
So the guy comes back with a young boy, not still an adolescent or older teenager. He's a little bit taller than his father, much better shape. He's definitely got the scholarly kind of dignified look to him, but he kind of also looks a little mousy. Slightly tousled hair, and he's breathing slightly heavily. It looks like he's been outside doing some sort of work. And the boy walks over to you, and the other man walks back to continue with his papers. Evidently, he's already forgot about Kabar.
How old is he? The
You-
boy?
He's a older teenager. That's all you know
Be
at
around
this point.
16.
Okay.
Would be my guesstimation. Vanderlei,
Hello, I'm sorry. Do I know you?
Renlathian. I've spoken with your father earlier today
Kobar.
about your sister.
Oh, and his eyes immediately drop.
Where is she?
I don't know where she is.
Inside?
Yeah.
Let's see. 14.
Yeah, he's definitely not necessarily hiding something, but he definitely immediately puts on the almost like an ashamed air.
I don't care. And I don't really want to know. Your father seems a good man, but he's very naive. And he's willfully ignorant, if you know what that means. All I'm interested in is making sure that Petunia is safe. Can you help me understand any of that?
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. 18.
Perfect. Nice. So he looks up at you for a moment, meets your eyes, and then he drops his gaze again, and there's almost like just sadness in his eyes, and he says, "Yes, I know my father doesn't have any idea what's going on with either myself or my sister. She tried to come see me one night. I was even expecting her. It wasn't the first time, but she didn't make it here. Evidently, some people in town found out about her weekly visits, and they abducted her in the process. My father doesn't know about this.
That makes
And
sense.
They've been holding her for ransom. They say that if I pay them enough money, they'll give her back. But I've paid them off every week. My allowance and my tuition. Pretty soon I'll be kicked out of school. My father doesn't know any about this.
Listen, you're trying to do the best thing. You are trying to take care of your sister in your father's stead. Lord knows he wouldn't be able to handle this. I appreciate that. Appreciate the position that you're in. Any information that you can give me about them so that I might help?
I can't tell you anything more than I've told you. They said that if
Who's
anyone... The thugs.
The thugs.
They said that if anyone found out, they would do unspeakable things to my sister.
Okay. When and how are these messages delivered?
I have to meet them in a dark alley once a week.
And when is your next meeting with them?
2 nights from now. I've never seen my sister, but they bring me short letters and her drawings, proof that she's still alive. I know she's scared, but I have to destroy the letters and the pictures each week, otherwise someone might find them.
So you
And then
have,
the thugs would kill my sister, or worse.
so you don't have any of the letters or anything that they've given you?
No.
Okay. And where is this dark alley?
It's in the slums.
Of course it is.
I show him our map.
Where?
He says it's basically about right there.
Okay.
Around S29.
Yep.
This is what's going to happen, Penderley. We're going to help you and your family and your sister. And we're going to do this. We're going to do this without your father knowing what's actually going on.
Mum's the word.
But what we're going to need from you is your cooperation with us.
Yes, of course. And he kind of puts up his hands, and he's wearing fine white gloves that are adorned with lace and ribbons. And he says, "If you help, I will give you my family's heirloom gloves.
No.
Yes, they're magical, and I'm sure they can help you."
I need the usage of my hands generally.
What kind of magic are we talking about here?
We can sell it. They help you make friends.
Uh-huh.
Oh, pff, like we need that.
Yeah, we don't know that.
I'm naturally gifted in making friends.
Aren't we all?
That's very kind of you. However, I don't know that any of us are interested in
Wait,
Friends?
Your family's had multiple generations with magical ability to make friends, and they're at the current state that they're okay. Cool.
I don't think Percy has done the family any favors.
Hmm.
I don't think we want that. You keep your family heirlooms, you keep what's important to you. And we're going to help out just how we can. But it's important that you follow our directions. So late at night, what does that mean?
Long after dark.
Long after.
I think he means once the sun's set.
Yeah, way before the sun comes back up.
Okay.
About an hour after curfew.
When is curfew?
Equivalently, it's 9 o'clock.
Okay. Alright.
The slums is under curfew due to excessive banditry.
Okay. That sounds like fun.
That's good to know.
I like to mess with bandits.
Really?
Scumbags.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it sounds like it's what we're doing anyway.
So I have to sneak through the streets
Stupid.
so I don't get caught by the guards while I'm entering and exiting the slums.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Should we?
I've got an idea for that. Now this is in 2 nights. Yes.
Yes.
And then a week after that.
And when they show up, how many show up? Typically.
4.
4 of them. And are they armed?
Yes, I believe they are.
Okay.
They normally have maces.
Garbage weapons. Sure. Okay. Well, I'll tell you
They
what.
look rather dangerous.
I'm sure they do, but I assure you, it's nothing we can't handle.
I'm sure if I met one of them, I could fence with them and disarm them, but 4 of them would surely overtake me.
This will be a good learning experience
Surely.
for you. We will meet you. How do you usually sneak out of this particular building?
Oh, I don't have to sneak out of this building. I just leave.
Okay, so you have to sneak around once you get to the slums.
That's right.
He is the son of a noble.
We are going to set up.
Kind of stops and thinks, I've already told you much too much. You already know so much. Don't get my sister killed.
Oh no,
You can see how we don't need the gloves.
we're gonna save
We
your
are the
sister,
gloves.
and you're going to help
The
us.
gloves were inside you
And
the
you will
whole
learn
time.
quite a
They
bit.
have the -1 charisma.
So I am able to set up essentially a hidden, nearly invisible place for us to hide and wait. And we will wait at the appointed time, or at the appointed place, and we will all be together, and when we see them show up, we will be able to convince them to release your sister. So we will be back. What time do you usually leave this place to make it to the slums so we can meet you?
Oh, just after lights out.
Okay.
Is there no clock tower here?
You guys hungry?
No.
Perpetually. I have a really fast
Okay.
metabolism.
So remember, we will meet you
Always hungry. It's a wiggle
here just after lights
More
out,
leaves.
just out front. Yes.
Okay.
And we will go there together.
Like rash
We will
like
save your
bucket.
sister, and that will be that. And hopefully we
I got
can
like 10.
10 grams.
explain to her that
Oh, I
we
thought it was
can't be doing
rations.
this
Oh.
anymore.
Okay.
Going to meet.
If you think you can take care of the bandits.
We know we can take care of the bandits.
That's not a problem.
Why would we take care of them? Are we gonna fight them?
We've killed a magical bird larger than a dragon.
Oh, that piece of shit.
We've killed
That's what-
trolls. We've killed just about
People.
everything, really.
Yeah, we've killed a lot of humans.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Bandits.
Indiscriminately.
Orcs.
Our
Don't
Oh.
listen to them. They need,
discriminately.
A dragon, right? Didn't we kill a dragon once?
both of them are very hungry. We're gonna leave now. We'll meet
Wasn't
you
there
in
a
2
rare
days.
two-headed dragon?
Okay.
It's a little one though.
Get your rest,
Copper
Yeah.
dragon.
and
Like
we'll protect you.
It was the one above.
And my sister.
Kettling- No,
Let's protect
the
my
castle.
sister.
We're gonna save your
That
sister.
was being sieged. Is it Kettling Keep?
All right.
Our first one was made out of coins.
Let's get out of here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mystery solved. Go
Hey,
back to
where's our
class.
200 gold?
Getting kicked
Poison
out.
spray.
As we're leaving, I turn back around and I say it loud enough for the secretary to hear. You know, getting kicked out of this school would probably be the best thing for any aspiring adventurer or young noble.
We're being kicked out?
Yeah, we
And I
didn't. We
leave.
didn't make it.
Oh,
We didn't
He
make
kind
it. Man.
of looks up and stares at you as you walk out.
Oh, excuse me. Where does one do research around here?
Who are you talking to?
The guy in the front desk.
me.
The one that I just insulted.
Yes.
Bar.
Well, even a man of your stature, you could apply and study here as well.
Yes. But I'm saying just for general research. Like, where do they go to look at books and stuff?
Oh, we have books for study as well.
Oh. Alright.
Would you like to apply?
Not really, no. I need to look at some books.
I have a couple books.
You do?
We have a class on history. Is that what you're interested in?
No.
You can take just a single course.
Wyverns.
Ah, yes, monster training. Yes, we have a class on that as well.
Yes, because a level 8 ranger needs to take a monster class in this place.
You can probably teach it.
Thank you, sir. Oh, look, I've run.
Joe, you need to stop calling people sir. You're much more noble than all of these plebeians.
Yeah. Did
You know-
you even see their certificate?
No. Did you?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, don't these places have to like post their accreditation on the front desk somewhere?
I don't think their central
Hmm.
governing board is very.
Oh, so what you're saying is he could graduate, but his night shift wouldn't be recognized in Sapphire City.
Or anywhere.
Oh,
We'll find a better one.
It would be like getting.
What's right next door to
I
it?
can't believe they would lie.
Yeah. You know, I can come off as pretty rude and
No.
abrasive.
Yeah. No.
And, but. I know.
You're looking out for us.
Yeah, I treat you guys okay. I just, I've learned you have to do that with people because that's what they're going to do to you. So sometimes you just have to,
Look out for number one, right?
look out for your family, right?
Yeah. Family.
And I walk. Keep walking.
Who's the mommy?
I'm walking. I'm walking. Renliff is both. And I'm walking at a quickened pace.
Elf is the dad.
Okay, so where are you walking to?
What does that
The
mean?
council.
All right, so it's council time.
Yeah, you guys don't have to come if you want to get something to eat. I'm just.
Well, what I do want to find a place to do some research on Wyvern's gun. I'm a ranger. I'm gonna do this right.
I'm not separating from you guys again.
Well, we're separated from each other. You're gonna have to choose
Oh.
between us.
Well,
Don't make me
you
do
don't
this.
have to. You can come with me. I just know you don't want to.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know what?
Maybe the Academy of Tem.
I
Is there a
think
town crier around here or something? I don't know.
you
Town
Well, why-
crier around
Why
here?
don't you ask?
You
You know.
past the time.
Oh, that guy
You
in
know-
front?
Yeah. He'll know.
Sir
Cadabar.
I was close.
well, you got this, right, Renlith? I mean, like, I'm not going to be much help there, right?
Wait, do you even need to be there?
No, but I feel obligated to at least let the council know that we have first-hand experience and first-hand knowledge of the threat from outside that a lot of them are denying. They're putting everyone in this town and the surrounding area at risk by not preparing. That's what I feel obligated to warn them about.
Does this place have any elven nobles?
No.
Okay.
You don't really know.
I mean,
I'm I'm almost asking like, are you rare? No, because you're dead. It's from your dad's side. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm so intrigued in everyone's backstory. All right. So we're going there. We're going to the council, but I'm going to ask the front desk guy.
Alright, so you get to the council, and there's a sign at the front desk that says council meeting today, and there's no one at the desk.
Okay, that means it's already going, so it's time for me to walk in and make a grand entrance.
Alright.
Do you want me to take the door?
No,
Do you want
please.
to say
What I mean by that is just let me do everything. Please.
Okay.
If I need you to back me up, I will look to you.
Wait,
And
can you
then
just
you'll
back
know.
up?
Are you gonna do any more of those like compliments where it's not a compliment?
I guarantee you that's going to
Yes. That's my favorite. That's my favorite part.
Let me know when it happens. All right, we'll fine.
Alright, so you walk into the council room.
In case you need some muscle.
So the council room, again, it's a U-shaped table, and there are 12 spots that are all filled right now. And there are a couple chairs along the back wall. There's only like 3 people there other than you guys that are basically not council members.
Is Catabar in there?
Katabar turns
I'm right
out
here.
he is at the council table. And he's got a name tag in front of him. He turns out to be a full-fledged member of the council.
I'm glad he likes me.
So, at the council table, we have, dressed in Victorian-era noble garb, Nujarn is the head chair of the Council of 12 Solatris. He keeps his head high and does his best to maintain order and an air of dignity. The scribe Katabar is actually a full member of the council, but he seems more busy transcribing the session than participating. He looks rather pleased with himself and is dressed in bright, flashy clothes. General Delar is a middle-aged knight and commander of the Solatris troops. He's a man dressed in chain armor and the colors of Solatris. He looks slightly no-nonsense. An elderly paladin of Palancio dressed in full plate armor, even in a council meeting, Sir Roland
Yeah, my
Brantford.
kind of man.
Sir Roland Brantford is the ideal image of a proud, elegant paladin. Though his hair is silver, he still maintains an aura of strength. He speaks in a booming voice and smiles incessantly. The swordsman Olestrin is dressed in light armor and has a rapier at his side. His dark hair is mussed, and his face seems to have a permanent smirk on it. He constantly steals glances at Sir Roland as if he's looking for a weakness or break in the man's composure. The most relaxed person in the room, Lord Telron or Cedric, is dressed in dark Gothic fine garments with a pointed cape. He seems only mildly concerned with the other people in the room, nodding absent-mindedly to anyone attempting to carry on a conversation with him. He meets your gaze for a moment as you walk in and nods at you. This is the man that you met the first time that said he'd give you a chance to talk.
I remember.
Dressed in blue and gold tunic and robe, in a blue and gold tunic and robe combination with cropped brown hair and trimmed beard, Halthus Majiran sits, hurriedly sorting through stacks of parchment and scribbling notes, but manages to keep watch over the entire room at the same time. A female elf dressed in black and blue robes sits finely poised, watching the room and engaging in small talk with those around her. Lady Alif Featherly is the only one listed as a noble other than with the noble title of lady or lord other than Telron. She absent-mindedly taps her fingers on an arcane crystal as she waits with a pleasant smile on her face. A young adult human woman dressed in pure white robes sits with a look of impatience on her face, a prominent holy symbol around her neck depicting a silhouette of a family. Guardian Sifa Mazel is obviously a passionate woman and wants to get on with the meeting.
Yep.
A young man, Elilon Darkbane, is an ideal ranger. His brown hair is messy and he wears typical hunter garb, even to a formal meeting. There are no papers before him and he waits anxiously, obviously feeling out of place indoors and around so many
That's like
dignitaries.
writing on tree skin.
Heston Hammerly is a shadowy figure dressed in blacks and browns. He wears a cloak pulled loosely around him, and his eyes constantly wander around the room, a glint of intelligence and derisiveness in them. He has a leather-bound notebook in front of him and a quill sitting on top of it. Fick Panab is a lavishly dressed bard with a large smile covering his face. He incessantly attempts to engage in conversation with those around him, and his hands continuously move, even if he has nothing in them. The poor man seems like he has too much energy to be sitting down for any length of time.
Okay.
And that's all 12.
That's 12.
You think we can take him?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
With a heavy gavel pound, Nujarn opens the meeting with formality and reads off typical, boring city issues relating to water, petty crimes, improvements to the city, watch rotations, mining output, and harbor usage and taxations. This goes on for an incredibly long period of time, making your eyes glaze over as he details overly the mundane city ordinances. Finally, he finishes off, and the next item on the agenda takes off as Sir Roland stands and begins to talk at length about dragon relations in the far southern city of Glanth and the looming threat as they have been recently increasing their attacks and their organization. Not long after he begins talking, the man Heston begins arguing over him that everyone has rights to spoils and that local laws and punishments need to be re-established. The General Delar then calls out to Heston that he's a moron and more important things are at hand than changing local laws for his own good. Things quickly devolve afterwards into a shouting match. The women Sifa and Alif are slowly able to calm things down. Finally, Roland continues about this ever-growing dragon threat, and he basically details that he thinks there's some sort of collaboration going on between the dragons, as if they've had a coming to peace with themselves that is unprecedented, and even the dragon slayers in Glanth are having trouble dealing with the looming threat. Palthus interjects him and says that relatedly, he's also discovered that the elves are harboring some ruins that he believes they found the first elven civilization, but they're keeping historians out, and he feels something very important could be coming, perhaps even related to this dragon threat. Nujarn quiets Palthus and tells him to follow the schedule and stop deviating from it. Delar then starts talking about various problems in the city. Again, very mundane aspects and general things that on an average day you wouldn't really care about. Finally, Telron tells him to shut up and that Nebraka is much worse off. The people look dumbfounded. Telron then says that he's recently had someone come in and talk about trouble outside of the town, and he basically looks over at you and says if his eyewitness would be willing to speak up for a moment, and he motions to Renlith.
My hand over my chest and nod my head in respect and say, members of the council, my compatriots and I have been on the road now for months, and I've seen firsthand the growing threat looming from followers of Terrasen. And with our own eyes, we have seen camps not 3 days' march from to the southwest of this city. And further west of, northwest of Nebraka, and in Nebraka, as we've been through it, we have fought with necromancers and worshippers of Terrasen, with the aim of bringing back power of Terrasen on this plane. These seem fanciful and outlandish stories, but I can assure you that we've fought them, and we've battled with them, and we've seen them with our own eyes. I have some proof, however, not much. I bring not a dead body with me, but only
It's around here somewhere.
I have a diary.
Mhm.
I have a transcript of an ancient language promising one soul, the one who is in large part leading this army for Terrasen, obligating himself to that dark god, and innumerable stories of places that we've been and fights that we've had. I welcome any questions the council may have, though please be objective with these, as I understand they are fanciful to those of us who have never left the comfort of our powder room, and I look at Nujarn.
Nujarn immediately speaks up. How can we be sure that what you're telling us is actually true and not some fanciful thing you've made up?
Roll
He
insight.
said it wasn't fanciful.
Well, if you had been listening, I or as you probably recall from what I've said already, I have some proof, but not much. It would require research, and I'd actually be willing to come under a spell that would guarantee my truthfulness if it would appease
That's
the
not
committee.
necessary. No, that's not necessary. Nujarn basically quiets you and says, "Oh, next person.
I'm not done, sir.
Next person." Then General Delar speaks up. I don't think you rather understand just how powerful that the Solatris Knights are. Do you not realize that they are more than capable of defending our countryside and city from any threat?
This is the paladin.
No, this is the head of the guard.
This is
It's
this is
General Delar.
General Delar. General Delar, I've seen your troops, and I'm impressed with their skill and their resolve. However, there are things that, particularly my large friend here, Kabar, might be able to explain, being proficient and skilled himself in battle and having fought these forces. Only information to augment the already skilled fighters that you have. I can't imagine you have any problem. We offer this free of charge. We ask nothing in the way of recompense, only for the safety and security of your citizens.
Well, in that case, perhaps I can be convinced if you can provide additional information. Perhaps we can talk at length at a later date. That's all for me right now.
Thank you, sir.
Sir Roland speaks up. Yes, I understand that you're all very, very skilled adventurers, and you've been off and seeing all exciting things constantly. However, you must understand that, as he said, the Knights of Solatris are the most trained people in the land, and you'll not find better knights anywhere. As long as they're stationed here, this town, this city, this marvelous countryside is all perfectly safe. Nothing to be worried about at all. I don't understand why you should worry about the smaller city countryside so far away from town when they could just move here to a vast and wonderful city.
My good Sir Roland, what makes your forces so powerful and so elite, if not for the regular practice and training of new tactics and ideas brought from throughout the land? Does that not make them even more impressive?
Most of our knights are actually of a noble birth and have spent years training, something that the average person could never do. That's what makes them so exceptional.
I haven't once practiced.
When was the last time
I turn
you've
around
changed your I don't
Robe.
Oh no, you ruined it. I mean, when was the last time that you've changed your school or your teachings for your knights?
Why, that's unrelated to this topic of conversation. However, if you'd like to talk about helping the people and proving that you yourselves are worthy of our aid. Again, just like Delar, please see me afterwards. I'd love to talk to you at length about your accomplishments and what you can do for our town in return for your help.
Thank you, Roland, and thank you, Kabar. I think the important thing that Kabar is aiming at here is the simple fact that his training is not of a noble manner, and while there is much to be said, and the noble trained and skilled knights of the realm are the most highly regarded and respected, this cannot be argued. However, I propose to you a discussion, perhaps in conjunction with. Hold on. General Delar. Still has 12 new names, or like 9 new names.
Yeah.
And just discussing what knowledge we may be able to bring to the table to update the already refined training that your knights receive. And this would not take the place or in any way, shape, or form change the shape or flavor of the already exceptional training that you receive. However, it would be a very educational and more or less noble perspective of the combat that might come to your doorstep that you may not expect. And these people don't fight like nobles. Anyone that's been in combat with experienced banditry or dark forces knows that they will not play by the rules. And there are a few magical encounters that we've received, or that we've been in, that may well surprise even you. We've recently largely cleared an ancient temple dedicated to Terrasen.
Oh. Order! Order!
Turn speaks up and says, "Look, I understand you're telling this people all this important thing. Let me just tell you an important thing myself right now. As long as Sir Roland is skeptical of you, that's all the information I need to know. You have my vote. We will have the knights. We will have the town guard. We will mobilize every man, woman, and child and teach them, and they will go out and defend this countryside. All, as long as it spites Roland. You have my vote."
Y'all are messed up.
That was Turn.
Yeah.
Thank you, Turn. However, and I very much appreciate your vehemency. However, I think for any lasting and
He kind of leans back and stops listening.
That sounds like that to me. We can't.
and while I don't stand here before you thinking that I'm going to convince any of you wholly, all I ask for is some time with you on perhaps an individual basis, and outside of maybe a council movement, but only small augmentation to the already rigorous training and knowledge base of your guards and knights in this city, so that they won't be surprised by any of the dark undercurrents that are currently brewing outside this fair city. This is all I ask of you.
Yasharn raps his gavel and says, Yes, that's enough of you. Now let the rest of the town council members have their say."
Rude.
Of course.
Let's see. Teleron speaks up and says, "Sir, you have my vote. I don't have to say anything else. We've already spoken at length."
Thank you, Lord Teleron. Right?
I like that guy.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord Teleron.
The next person who speaks up is Lady Alif, and she says, "My good sirs, I think that you don't understand the disruption in trade that would happen if you tried to disrupt the town just as you're suggesting. And the economic repercussions would be so vast that a town as well oiled as Solatris would come under such attack, and being such a massive trade hub and such an important city, I think that's the last thing we would want. And as long as that would cause a problem, you, of course, will not have my back.
Lady Alif, would you honor me with a chance to reply?
A short reply.
If trade at this moment has not been impeded thus far, the aid and information that I intend to deliver should not impede it in any way, shape, or form. Only educate and illuminate.
She kind of smiles and nods, but she doesn't say anything.
Every 6 seconds I can
And it's being a proprietor of the goods which may have crossed your path, I have no interest in impeding any of the deliveries of such high-quality items.
Guardian Sifa speaks up and says, I don't think you understand just how dangerous sending out soldiers and starting a massive war would be. We don't want a war. Perhaps we can provide a diplomatic solution to this, and we should send out some dignitaries to deal with this before you try to mobilize troops and cause a massive slaughter across the entire world.
These people.
If I may, Sepha.
Yeah.
It is not my intent to have you muster the troops, so to speak, and with with your guidance and assistance, my compatriots and I would be more than happy to fulfill the role of emissaries.
What?
and to be able to communicate however diplomatically as possible with these forces.
I cast
Again.
a message. What?
Again, let's see, you cast message so I can reply to you?
No, I wouldn't cast message in a place like this. That's probably dangerous. I cast spells.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
should-
At least a third of these people are some kind of magic users.
That ranger could probably shoot
So,
a prayer or
again, I reiterate, it is not my intent to rally troops, but again, only to educate and illuminate. Inform this council here, as I'm doing right now, and not raise an alarm for the citizens.
She looks skeptical, but she waits for the next person.
Okay.
The ranger speaks up and says, sirs,
Christ.
the town itself has bigger problems than some distant army. There are so many beasts just dealing with these locally problems. Perhaps if the town had fewer problems to deal with itself, and there was less disruption within the city itself and around, then perhaps everyone would be more inclined to help you.
Give me a list of your pressing issues, and we will solve them. All of them.
Jesus.
Okay.
With your help, with your recommendation, I'm sure that we can alleviate the city of a lot of these nuisances, whether they be beasts or magical creatures. In fact, that's our next stop.
I perked up at the word beast.
He kind of nods and looks happy, and the next person speaks up. Heston Hammerly glares at you and says,
This guy's a dick.
You know it.
You know what...
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Heston Hammerly?
Yes.
I wrote Preston Shatterly. Is this the dark guy?
Yes.
Okay, let me read
Wait,
this.
no, wait. Wait, that's not the dark guy.
No, you're thinking of the goth, Telron.
Okay, yeah, Telron's the goth. This
Heston-
guy is
This is the guy that looks like
a rogue.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
I mean,
looks
I
at
don't
you
know
and
that.
he kind of leans back in his chair and it's like he's summing you up, and after a while he says, you know what? All the points you made have made very good sense.
This guy looks a
And-
lot cooler than the ranger.
I think it would make perfect sense to send as many of the knights and guard out of the town as possible to help your predicament. I vote
Wait a minute.
with you on this topic.
I haven't.
That's an odd way to
Good
put
council
it.
members. I'm not certain. The general order of things, and Nujarn, I will, of course, need your input here. But as far as the general order of proceedings, no motion has been made that we are voting on.
And Nujarn is, no, of course not. This is, some of the council members get out of hand occasionally and try to voice their opinions before an official vote has been taken place.
Very good.
But
Perhaps if it's okay with you, Nujarn, after the council have had their voices heard, the opportunity for a motion be set before the floor with amendments, adjustments as needed to then be voted on.
yes, of course, we will have a vote after this. Yes, this sounds but very, very fine for me.
Thank
we will
you.
take it outside of normal schedule just for you. The next person who talks is Fik Hanab.
I read a 700-page book on parliamentary proceedings and rules of order.
In real life?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Promise rules of order.
I didn't know if you were talking about
I bet
Renlith
20
or...
of those pages are really cool.
It's terrible. Don't read it. I have to deal with that in college a little bit. I was on the student government. I loved it. It was dreadful. All right. So Fik says, I don't think that it's really that good of an idea to go to war. It'll cause a lot of monetary hardship on the city. But I'll tell you what. If the majority of the council wants to do it, you've got my back.
What class is this guy?
Bard. He's a bard.
Oh, typical.
Spineless. No decision making.
Musical.
Okay. So the next one who speaks is Palthus.
Okay.
And he's been basically studying you this whole time, and he finally says, tell me about your exploits in Tarsus.
Which one was Tarsus? Oh, right. What did we do in Tarsus? Did we do anything? We destroyed a temple.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, what? Give us a moment, please.
I'm reaching back into all of my memories. Okay.
I want to just stare at him too. Joe has no input on this. Joe has inherited my memory.
Neruxin.
Tarsus. We were in Tarsus months ago at this point, and in the few months past when we were there was not a great deal of note occurring in the town, simply undercurrents. Most of what we've discovered was after we left Tarsus, heading... This is all totally fluid when I'm saying it, I'm sure.
I'm not asking what you did after Tarsus. I'm telling you to just tell me about what you did in Tarsus.
Are you asking about the cheese?
I'm looking at him, trying to see if this guy knows something. If he knows that we did a thing with, like, that research of rare magic gay group, you know?
Give me an insight check.
Stupid ass group.
I missed them.
I rolled a 19.
You get the feeling he's prodding you for something. Like you get the feeling he knows something about you that other people don't somehow.
Which guy is this?
Palthus.
And Palthus is... I don't know what he
Powerful sorcerer who is known for poking his head into everything. Very level-headed, marked with an extreme streak of pessimism.
I will tell you full well what we did
Pretty
there.
good guy.
I traveled
We're
the
contacted.
countryside with him.
By a small group of researchers who...
And that is why you burnt down an abandoned warehouse in the middle of town, causing severe danger to all the townspeople for no apparent reason.
Yeah, that's the place that had
Can't
like
prove
that
that.
secret cellar door that we found. It was like labeled like clubhouse.
Oh, my goodness. Is that in Tarsus?
Yeah, that's where we got Map?
Oh,
Is that where we got our map?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That's where we got one of our maps.
Yeah.
Well,
Was
Is that the
place-
zombie
what
place
ended
you
up
went to?
happening here is we were
You went in by
following the
yourself,
trail
there was like a bunch of broken potions. Like
of-
our friend
Oh
had.
yeah.
of a nefarious group, and we found in a already destroyed rubble of a building a hidden door, which we entered.
No. You. I don't think you destroyed an abandoned warehouse and caused severe danger to so many townspeople. Why would you do that?
No matter how many times you say it, doesn't make it true.
You caused a massive fire that
Not in
caused
Tarsus.
danger to Tarsus in that warehouse. From that warehouse.
Don't look at me.
No,
We
no,
didn't
there's
do
just
that.
a broken. No.
What are you talking
The
about?
place burnt down after you guys because someone basically whoever when you were in that little trap door or whatever.
Oh, you set fire
Person
to it.
got and he set fire to it to try to collapse the building on you.
Oh yeah.
Was that an actual building?
Yeah,
There's like a run. There's like
It was like a really
Decrepit.
shitty.
it was
Like,
an abandoned like guild hall.
Oh,
I think that's what it was technically labeled as.
well, I can't argue with what it is you know because I don't know what you know. However, here's what actually happened.
and why is this pertinent?
We were following a lead. Well, it's pertinent because he's questioning our
Integrity.
capabilities and integrity.
Hmm.
And I'm assuming that's what your intent is with this query is to ascertain how reliable we are as people. And to answer your question, I'm sure that an equal portion of proof can be provided on both of our parts, proving or disproving our points or the others. However, what happened when we were following trail into this abandoned, dilapidated warehouse or old clubhouse? We were attacked.
You say you found some random bandits inside of a warehouse, and then you burnt the place down out of maliciousness and nearly caused deaths to normal townspeople.
That's not what he said.
Nope, not at all what I said. And furthermore, placing words in my mouth
Stenographer?
will not make it so.
You're back to last minute.
So,
Yeah.
let me clarify. Upon being attacked, we made our escape, causing no damage to anything other than a shelf of oils and inks. In an attempt to trap us and kill us in the abandoned warehouse, the individual who was running away from us and quickly hiding and destroying the evidence of what he was doing there.
So some random thief you find, and then you leave the building on fire without helping or calling aid at all to the town when it's so close to other buildings.
Assessing the situation and realizing that the essential implosion of that building would cause no great threat to any of the other buildings.
That's all I need.
In the moment, we were...
That's all I have to say. I think we're done, and
What about
I
the
can
building?
promise you,
burnt down.
for now, you will not have my vote.
Thank you for your candor, Palthus.
Ooh, big surprise.
And finally, Kadabar speaks up, and he kind of looks at you and says, "My good friends, we met just a few days ago. Days. And I can say that the integrity of these people is high and mighty, similar only to Kadabar himself."
Looking around to the rest of the council, are they like groaning?
Pretty much.
I'm gonna woo at this.
As you all know, Kadabar would not
Government.
normally lower himself to voice an opinion on this council, even in a tie. However, learning about the incredible integrity of these fine folk, after speaking to them only for a few moments, Kadabar can say that Kadabar will back these people forever and a day.
Thank you, Kadabar. very kind words.
And Nusharn raps his gavel and says, well, I think we've heard from all of our council members, and we will have a formal vote.
So... Wow, this went way more formal than I was expecting it to. General Delar and Rollins, I mean, technically they're undecided. They didn't say, like, I will vote for this motion that hasn't been made. So right now it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. So it looks like it might be just about split. Maybe.
Joe, stand up. If I may. If I may.
You
If
have
I-
a minute.
And then I'm going to stand exactly the way that Renlith was, however you were standing. And if you're still standing, it's
Yeah.
it's like I just want to remind you all, we are not asking you to go to war, simply warning you that war is coming to you. And what you do with this information really is up to you.
Amen.
But as a voter, and I sit down.
Nusharn says, fine, we will put this to a vote. Should we mobilize the troops and send them off into battle as requested by these fine folk?
Point of order, Nujorn. Point of order.
What is it?
We have not motioned for mustering troops. My motion, as it stands before the council, is for us to be given the opportunity within the next week to instruct the various leaders of the guilds, organizations, knights, and soldiers of the city, and inform them of the threat that we perceive. Nothing more. What happens with your troops based on a threat that may come is up to you. So my motion, as it stands before, I reiterate, is for our small party within the next week to have an opportunity to discuss with the leadership of the various councils, guilds, soldiers, and knights the information that we feel is important to relay.
Okay. He looks a little disappointed, but
Nothing more.
they put that to vote as you said, and it passes easily. You have only 2 votes against you.
All right.
Nusharn votes against you, and Turn votes against you.
Oh, we're 2 votes away from an
1200
achievement.
experience.
Turn votes against me?
Yes.
That
I say
cock,
it,
he
it
said
makes
he was
it
gonna
turn.
vote for me.
Wait, which guy?
Sneaky little sumbitch.
Turn.
Turn?
But even
Oh,
even the guy
and
who was
who
an
else?
asshole to me voted for me.
Everyone voted for you
Jesus.
with that.
Who else?
The only person.
Turn and Turn.
Okay.
Yeah, the only Turn voted for you against you, and he stared at Roland the entire time. You're 99% sure he voted against you simply because Roland voted yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Got it.
No, you did really well, but I figured like it needed that little oomph. So
You did really well. I was
Yeah.
impressed.
What
I don't know
about
where
me?
that came from. That was amazing.
they're idiots.
I thought I did okay.
Can't say it out loud.
Oh no, not them. Those other guys you met on the
Yeah,
street.
those other ding-dongs.
So after that, the
ruling the
council
city.
basically talks about some other pretty boring stuff, and then it adjourns, and that's about it.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
This is what you want to be when you grow up?
No, this is what I was kind of born into and then sent away from. Mixed blessing.
Their indecisiveness is
I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves
disgusting.
for a minute while I run to the restroom.
Okay. Are you guys ready to go and kill some wyverns?
Yeah!
I presume they'll send some sort of message. They probably. They probably won't. If I want to do anything with these groups, I'm going to have to follow up with each of them because they're not actually going to do anything.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Why do you care so much? I mean, we did our part, I think. If what these people do with that information is up to them, we're not responsible for them or this town.
It's the slow, methodical movement of politics and spreading information. These people have their own agendas, and their agendas don't always coincide with what's good for their citizens. And
Yes.
I felt obligated because there are a lot of people that live in this town, and this
We've
town,
seen some of them.
this town has a lot of crappy people who will lie to you, but that doesn't mean that they should suffer the consequences.
It's epic music with your monologue.
It's bringing a tear to my eye.
They shouldn't suffer the consequences of poor leadership. And I think since we have the knowledge and we have the ability, it's incumbent upon us to support these people.
I guess I understand what you're saying, especially with the innocents, but
You can't get disheartened by politicians.
I just feel like there's just three of us, outsiders, versus this just bullshit crew back there.
But just look at what happened in the 10 minutes we've been speaking with this council.
Oh, it was longer than 10 minutes. Okay.
But
Wait, is it nice?
suffice to say, however long
Shit,
that
we're
did
gonna miss
take.
our meeting.
Sorry, time flies when you're having
It's
fun, as they
every
say.
midnight.
But
It was over an hour.
in this relatively short amount of time,
They carved my name with a bench in front of me.
God.
stick some good chewed gum.
Everyone's just looking directly at
you. You're doing this
There's
all
no
the time
secrecy at
before
all.
you stand up and make an eloquent comment.
Okay, I'm ready now.
But just look, like all we wanted to do was inform them, and unfortunately, in a city like this with nobles and councilmen, it takes a lot of effort just to have a point heard.
I mean, I can't say I understand, but I trust your judgment.
I appreciate that. Know that all I'm trying to do with this, as painful as it was to make sure that the people who have the swords and shields and who cast the magic spells understand the threat that they may be coming up against.
Yeah, that's,
It has nothing to do with these bureaucrats.
yes,
They are just the ones that hold the purse strings and hold the power.
right.
So if you want to do it without getting sent to jail, you've got to go through these channels.
I see.
I don't think we're a good group of people who go to jail.
I don't think we would stay in jail very long.
I just hope we didn't make
No, I got
some
invisible
powerful
bench here.
enemies here.
I don't
At the
think we
same
made
time-
any new enemies.
Hmm.
I think the people that hated us when we came in here continue to hate us. And I think that our renown might be a little bit greater, and we'll have a little bit more of an ability to, maybe not freedom of movement in this town, but we'll have a little bit more pull.
I see.
One thing we will have to be cautious of when we take on these little missions, like helping find this daughter, is we're going to have to be very careful not to damage anything. And
Shit.
yeah, not to do anything but apprehend criminals. Try not to kill them.
Shit.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult.
What?
Yeah,
I can't do that.
we can't destroy the city. We can't burn anything down.
I'm not gonna set anything on fire anymore.
I'm talking about me too, with my proclivity for destroying entire rooms.
True. I don't understand how Palthus knew what he... I mean,
That one's curious, isn't it?
he must be involved.
Do you remember what the guy in that place looked like? That was running from us?
No.
I
He
don't.
was dark.
I don't
I wouldn't
either.
think he got it.
He was a hooded figure, right?
Invisible?
He was hooded?
Yeah, he was hooded.
But I don't.
I think he was invisible.
but I don't think it's.
He did his best to try to hide his appearance, his like any distinguishing characteristics or anything from him. But
It was a he.
We found a half-burned document, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you help me out here? What was that?
You found a half-burned document, and you found a map with a bunch of basically notes and basically notations on it about areas and places of power and like just general notes on like important things going on in the areas. And there was a reference to a basically a lot of it was like very burnt up, but the scraps that you did get were basically references to different basically just goings on. It was like it was a list of general events in the area that were getting cataloged.
I think it's important for us to be extremely cautious of.
And it also referenced some sort of guild and there was an emblem on it as well, but it was partially burnt.
Let's see.
Stealth.
Shit, where did Ranger Joe go?
I think it's important for us to be very cautious about. Is that Palthus? Majiris? Majirin?
I get the feeling he's
not up to anything.
He's got our number.
And I can't. There is almost no way for somebody to know.
There's no way, unless he's involved. He might.
Unless one of you are a spy.
It was obviously not the right forum to bring up the point that it would have backfired in rhetoric. You know, rhetorically, it would have backfired if I had brought up that the only way that he would have known is if he were there.
Yeah.
That could have gone very poorly.
I almost said something I would have regretted.
You have to be very cautious with these people because they're planning many steps ahead.
Was he trying to con us? Like the guy at that place, that school?
In large part, he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. He's setting things in motion, and I guarantee you, he is setting up ploys and plans right now to trap us.
I look for traps.
Not literal traps.
He also did a very good job of cutting you off anytime you tried to talk about what you were doing.
Yep.
Or what was going on in there.
Well, see, this is what we have you here for. I just smash things.
That's why we keep you in the group.
Don't sell yourself short, but I do have a knack for this thing.
No, we wouldn't have even gone in that building if you
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, we would
That's
we would be
terrifying.
hunting for rat tails right now.
So,
Hundreds. and
We would live the
hundreds.
rest of our life here as career rat
if you
tail
stayed in the council
hunters.
building, all the council members are still there
Okay.
after
Oh.
the meeting.
They're right behind us.
We never
Although
left
some
the
of them
room
look
either.
like they're trying to pack up and leave as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm. So,
Perception check.
did I see anybody looking like particularly hateful or resentful or scornful or whatever of Palthus?
I got a 20 perception check at the people packing up.
Not particularly. Like Heston looks like he hates everybody.
Okay.
And Nujarn kind of hates them, all of them as well, for different reasons. But other than that, no.
I think
They all, actually when he was talking, they all seemed like they were kind of agreeing with what he was saying.
I see. So this guy is powerful and influential. I'd like to turn my attention to Telron if he's still there. I imagine
He's still there.
uh,
He hasn't even really gotten up yet. He looks like he's too busy sitting there to get up and leave.
Very busy.
Is there any way for me to approach Telron?
No one's trying to talk to him, and the other people around him are busy either talking or trying to get up and leave.
I'm gonna
So-
walk up to Telron
Yes.
and just say, Lord Talron, would you be willing to take a short walk out of the building?
Alone.
That sounds rather strenuous.
Agreed. But unfortunately, walking away is one of the few ways to get away from a large group of people that you'd rather not be around.
I suppose we could talk about your family and Sapphire and what you do for a living.
Sure, and maybe one or two other items.
Maybe. He stands up slowly.
Naturally.
I cast sleep on the room.
Just to see what happens.
Everywhere, including Renla.
Who's got the lowest hit die? This is the perfect way to find out. Trust me, Newshard falls over first. Okay, so he's willing to walk out with you.
Okay.
Slowly.
Well, I'm all about walking slowly.
Oh my god, these guys are walking so slow.
It's like a bedtime shuffle is what I'm doing.
Where did you have in mind?
I can run 105 feet a second.
Well, yeah, we can walk towards the carriage or your transportation home. We shouldn't be much longer than that to talk. I don't wish to carry on a conversation after that any more than you do, I imagine.
Wonderful. So,
how about we start with you asking a couple of questions that you want the answers to about me or my family?
sure, where does your family money come from?
To be perfectly honest with you,
Business and trade.
it comes
Well, if you
through.
remember, as soon as he found out that he was a noble and from Solatris, his opinion slightly, or his attitude slightly changed towards Renla.
In Sapphire City, there's a lot that comes in and out of the town, and many of the nobles have their hand in it. It's hard to say one particular thing.
So trade. Wonderful. That's something easy to get into. I like this. Yes. Tell me more about your father.
My father is a great man, an influential man.
Influential. That's good too. Very good.
I spent most of my time, as you can imagine,
Sorry.
schooling elsewhere.
Yes, and do you have brothers and sisters, or is it just you?
I am the only child of sorts, yes.
Yes. That does make it hard when you only have one child. So one child with all your hopes and dreams on one particular person.
As you might imagine, it makes for a great deal of pressure.
Yes. Lots of pressure, yes. People under pressure often crack.
Not this one. What I lack in
I love this talking about
physical
his backstory.
physical size, I make up in mental and physical constitution.
Tell me, does your father do business with many people in Solatris?
Not to my knowledge.
Well, maybe the next time I make it that way, to Sapphire that is, I will have to find him and do some business with him myself.
I'm sure he would appreciate that.
Open up some better trade relations between the two cities.
Opening up new lines of business is always very interesting.
Wonderful. And tell me, does he deal in real estate at all?
I imagine so with his properties.
Wonderful. He may be interested in a few places I own. You see, that's my particular specialty.
Aha.
Owning?
That suits. Forgive me for saying, it suits your personality, I suppose.
That's perfectly acceptable.
Particular skill set and level of attention to detail.
Yes. It's all about talking to people and understanding what they want.
Now, may I ask you, about Palthus.
You can try, yes.
I'm trying to get somewhat of a read. He surprised me, and I'm not often surprised.
Yes. That is his specialty.
Is that his trade?
Yes. Well, I deal in
Real estate.
real estate.
Ownership.
Palthus seems to deal in information.
Those are powerful allies or enemies, that's for certain. So, the reason I bring this up to you as an intelligent and thoughtful person who measures words and not just blurts them out, a few of the things that he said in that room were not true, patently untrue, in fact. However, certain portions of it could not be known without how do I say this? Without being part of a somewhat nefarious sources of information.
Well, I can tell you a few things. There are two people in this council that I think are... No. 3 people in this council that I say would be dangerous.
Obviously, the ranger. Shut up.
Lady Alif, if ever angered, I could not even understand what problem she could bear upon people.
As a major dealer in trade goods across this entire area,
Worse than that, she only deals in one type of trade goods.
Death.
Lady Alif is the single largest trader and creator of magical items in the land. And she's an elf, so she's studied magic longer than most people have been alive. The good news is she's retired, and she doesn't seem concerned with doing anything.
It's a good combination.
Then there's me, which you really shouldn't be so trusting of. Because the only 2 people that rival speaking skills to the same level in that council are myself and Palthus. Palthus is an enigma that no one has been able to crack. Is he...
Oh, who was that guy?
What is he exactly
I don't know.
doing? We don't all understand exactly, but he has an incredibly powerful friend that is unrivaled in magical skill. And we know that Palthus is a sorcerer of extreme skill as well. But the 2 of them are rarely apart, and I'm frankly surprised that he did not show up to the meeting today unannounced, just to cause havoc.
what's his friend's name?
His friend's name, he goes by Delanthar.
Okay.
Who are you talking to right now, Renlith? Sorry.
Tauron, the Goth.
Okay, gotcha.
But, as for Palthus himself, I cannot tell you very much because, frankly, no one knows a whole lot about him. He seems to delight in providing conflicting viewpoints. One day he seems to be orderly, and the next chaotic.
I see.
But yes, if there's information to be known, Palthus already knows it. And no, I do not know why.
How does one get on the council?
The council is primarily consisted of the most powerful and influential people in town. However, there are a few seats reserved for special dignitaries. For instance, the head of the guard is a guaranteed spot. One diplomat has a guaranteed spot. The scribe is a guaranteed spot. An emissary from Parinth, the religious capital of the world, is guaranteed a spot.
And that's Sepha?
Sipha, yes.
Intriguing.
Well,
The People's Choice is guaranteed a spot, which is Fick. And there is normally a spot guaranteed for a general protector and advocate for the wilderness, which is the ranger.
Probably the most important seat.
well,
Then, of course, the wealthy.
certainly.
Yes, the wealthy.
Well,
He basically indicates himself.
Yes.
I think we've probably both reached the end of our willingness to walk.
I'm pretty
Yes,
sure we're carrying
I've
more
already
gold than
shared so much information. It's quite a bore. I do appreciate the knowledge you've given me, though.
you. Should we tip him?
Yes.
That's how knowledge works.
Well,
It's a give and take.
I look forward to seeing your house someday. In
Likewise.
the meantime, I think it's time for me to take my leave.
Before you
Yes.
leave, I heard you were a master sword shaper.
Yes. It's something I do on my off time.
Are you still crafting these things?
Oh, I think you misunderstand. He kind of reaches out his hand and the sword materializes through magic.
Whoa.
I don't make them. I don't craft them. It's magical.
Let's see.
Well, next time you're on your way to Sapphire City, let me know so that I can send word to my father.
That's above my pay grade.
Of course, yes. I think it will happen rather soon.
Grass comes out.
Splendid. Tonight I will be writing a detailed letter to my father.
Wonderful.
I'm actually saying that to the GM
That was the
Because
GM's voice.
Not to him.
because Renlith has got to come up with some shit right now to tell his dad. Because I have no idea what my dad does. and I told him a lot of stuff that I have no idea about. I was trying not to.
So,
Creating a backstory
sound
as
like
you
a
go
bastard.
along.
give me an insight check, just in case you didn't pick it up.
That was a threat.
It was your father.
It's a roll of 10 total.
So, personally, what are your vibes from this guy?
I think. I mean, he admitted himself that he's dangerous.
Yep.
And he is looking for leverage, and he's looking for a way to be able to manipulate me, bend me to his will.
Yep.
So he's going to do whatever he can to find out whatever he can about my father and my relationship there, to threaten under embarrassments and exposing me for what I am. Otherwise, I have to do whatever he wants.
Okay, that's pretty good. Other than that, you also get an inkling that this guy might be a bit of a con man.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. If only someone would warn us not to trust anyone in the city.
Why doesn't anybody tell anybody that ever? Okay, well,
It's a big city, everyone's corrupt.
especially those in power.
With the whole place
All right,
is fishy.
so whichever direction.
You already got inspiration, I can give it to you.
Yeah.
Whichever.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, whichever direction Telron is going, I am walking the opposite way, even if it's the opposite direction of
That's
where
a-
I want to be going.
That's a wall.
Okay.
Yeah, unless I walk into a wall, obviously.
Say that.
Yeah.
This is a really cool painting, guys.
Oh,
Come
yeah, I
over here.
really like this architecture, the stuff.
Turns out he's going to the exact same inn we're at.
I hope not.
He doesn't stay at an inn. He's got a
Or is it one of those awkward things where the only exit is like one way and he's already going there?
No,
We're outside.
there's multiple
Oh.
there's multiple. He's actually heading towards East Gate, which is actually towards your inn.
Mhm.
But
No, we're gonna hang a left
All right.
and go around that way.
all right. So where are you guys headed?
Let's see. So it's evening time now, I imagine.
No.
You know what? I probably could
later
have asked that
late
ranger
afternoon.
about.
Well, these guys need dinner.
Oh shit.
I'm
Yeah.
sure of it.
They skipped lunch for you.
Wherever you all want to eat, it's on me.
Ooh.
Here, you've done remarkably well under these most boring events of the day.
Well, this place has plums and grapes.
That sounds great for me, but I think Kabara is looking for something a little bit more.
Oh,
Do you want me to shit my brains out?
it's sorry. It's in wine form.
That also sounds
Still
great. to me.
stands.
Is there something that says meat?
Wait, why are there so many wine cellars?
Because booze is good food.
You tried the rotting zombie bar.
That sounds appetizing.
We can go to the Shadow Fiend during the day.
We're not going to the
Scope it out.
slums, so anything in the slums is out.
The bar.
Chicken butcher. Okay.
Let's see what's close.
Hey, I like that one.
Oh, right. Actually, Shadow. No, M40.
Taverns are not close.
Drought of
Unless
Dust.
it's across.
We could just
you know,
go to
district.
a stand or what is it? Cart?
Whatever you want.
The Grey Wind is close.
Sure,
It's an
let's go there.
Sure.
I'll buy you copious amounts of meats and potatoes.
It's my jam.
All of the different types.
You want jam too?
Ooh.
Oh.
Sure.
Dark and light magic.
Lunch is garlic and basil leg of lamb. And sweet potatoes.
Oh, what? Sweet potatoes?
Sweet potatoes.
That's gonna be a new experience for you.
Yeah, holy shit.
No, pace yourself. We want you getting a sugar rush.
Sweet potatoes. Wait, why are they orange? I'm kind of hesitant.
This music is your test
Just
bus.
try them.
Slow motion.
You'll like it. So while we're at the table and I'm trying to ignore Kabar eating, I'm actually there feverishly writing a detailed
gonna
letter
eat
to
that?
my father.
Okay.
I won't write it all out. Essentially,
no?
it's going to be. I'm trying to figure out. Like Renlith is thinking really hard whether he wants to say that his very good and trusted friend, who is so much like me, Talron, is coming to visit to discuss potential opportunities, so that he automatically dismisses him, or if I want to actually warn him.
If you want, you can just send me an email.
Okay. All right.
That'd probably be the easiest.
I'm gonna make a note about this letter that I gotta send.
Because it'll take a while for it to get to him and get back to you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you're
it
close
doesn't
to
need to come back to me. It's not like he's gonna write anything I want to read.
That's true.
Someday I might write my parents.
So lunch is 5 silver each.
Oh well, I pay that. I said I was gonna pay that.
Dang.
Thanks.
15
Hey,
silver.
thank you, Renlith.
Even though you have like a stack of our money in your backpack.
Well, I'm
But-
not paying for it with your money.
Pay for it with the poisoned silver strips.
I'm not going to do that. I don't think
Oh.
people would like that.
we should really do something with those though.
Since you went for the semi-expensive lunch. Since it was on you. And you went to one of the nicer inns in town.
I don't know what else I would have chosen.
No, good food's good.
Yeah.
And lunch is the most important meal of the day. That's what we say ourselves.
I'm gonna ask if I can get some of those sweet potatoes to go.
That's on you.
Okay.
I'm not paying for your
You
travel
seem to
today.
enjoy them so much, they're happy to provide you with some extra.
Worth its
That's
weight
nice.
in gold.
He has a way with chefs.
It really does. Chefs just like people who like food, I think.
Oh yeah. They see my enthusiasm.
Appreciation for their art.
He likes it so much he takes the fish helmet off so he can shovel it in faster.
And people are even more scared. Oh my god, it's not a fish monster. It's a half-orc.
I want fish monster to come back.
Okay. Made
Do you want to like sneak into like fishermen's houses in the middle of the night and like scare them?
Did you
Away
even have
from
to
fishing?
ask?
So
Do you even have to ask?
once y'all are done, I recommend we try and find a place to offload these strips of precious metals that we have, and then rest up a little bit before we do this potential trap at midnight.
We're doing that tonight?
It's supposed to be tonight, right?
At midnight.
Yeah. Or well, tomorrow at midnight, whatever. It's always confusing.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably want to go to like the market area.
I don't like markets very much, but that's
We
probably
can go
the best idea.
shopping.
Oh, unless you go to Sibel's Estate Sellers. Just
There's this place called Donuts and Dragons.
you can go
And
there.
the names in this town are amazing.
So I'm going to.
My favorite is the inappropriate one.
I didn't catch that
My
one.
wife didn't appreciate it. Slums 2.
I don't get it.
Everyone for me.
Oh. Oh, here.
Oh yeah, great. Sorry, I was just enjoying all.
Our waitress or whatever.
I like that.
Wave her over. And I need to ask her a question.
Okay. You get a barmaid to come over.
Excuse me. I'm looking to offload some raw material in exchange for coin. Do you have any idea where the best place to do that might be?
The counting house.
What is the counting house?
It's
Is it a
a,
bank?
it's a money exchanger, and it also can hold money for fees.
Okay. Thank you.
It's very unique to the city.
I'm not big on services per se. But thank you. That's exactly where I think we'll go.
Otherwise, you could try one of the gem sellers or jewelers.
We need to find a dwarf. 9. T9.
T9?
Yeah, T9 is the bank place.
It's on the top of that weird river lake thing.
So, I mean, you're right here as it is,
Oh, perfect. Let's just pop over there.
just down the street, past some houses.
Let's see what they have going on there. Kabar, Joe, don't let them convince you in investing in anything. Don't let them convince you in holding on to your money. for
I don't
days.
wear vests.
Yeah, investment is giving your money for other people to spend in the promise of making money in return.
I don't believe in owning land.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just gonna try and offload these strips of
Okay.
silver and gold and stuff.
Alright, so you go into the counting house, and there are basically two barred stalls. There's a man, a blonde-haired young adult, beaming smile, chiseled jaw, standing there in fine clothing. And then next to him is a half-elf who looks much less excited to be working.
Go up to the half elf.
Yes, sir, what can I do for you? My name is Levi Carillo.
Hello, Levi. Renlith. I have a great deal of precious metals in strips that we've acquired through our travels.
Interesting.
We're looking at exchanging them for spendable currency.
Okay. If I can inspect these, I can appraise them and give you a fair value.
Do you have any gloves?
Slight detail.
Yes.
Okay. I would recommend putting them on. They were taken from a temple, an ancient temple. I won't bore you with the details, but suffice to say, they have a coating of a corrosive substance on them. It's not good for the hands.
So that will dramatically decrease the value.
I'll clean them for you. It's not a big deal. I'm just telling you now. In fact, I take my mage hands and I pull out one of the platinum strips, put it on the table, I'm assuming. And first I'm going to try and press digitation and see if that works to remove the oil or whatever the hell it is off of it.
Okay, it works.
Okay. And I'm going to pick it up with my bare hands now.
Okay.
And
You check.
see if
Me too.
any ill effects.
Okay. No, you're okay.
Simple as that. And I hand him the strip of platinum to inspect.
Looks at it, his eyes kind of go wide.
So I have 34 of those, 77 of those made out of gold, 280 of those made out of silver, and 711 of those made out of copper.
Hold on. What were those numbers again?
Of the platinum strips, like that which you hold, 34, including what is in your hand. Gold, 77. Silver, 280. And copper, 711.
Copper's my favorite.
What currency would you like these converted to?
What are my options?
Copper, silver, gold, or platinum?
Well, that depends on the total price point that we're looking at. I'd rather not carry around 1,000 pounds of monies.
So you're looking at gold or platinum?
Yes. Gold.
I'll give you the number in gold.
Thank you.
Just a few moments while I appraise these.
Okay. I would like to, while he's appraising them, I would like to use all of my charm to make sure that he understands how amazing they are. This is old stuff. This is the good stuff.
It belongs in a museum.
It's worth well more than its weight.
Don't go too far. Then I just.
Do I get to persuade him at all?
Sure.
Okay. So for a persuasion roll, it's 23.
Oh, Jesus.
I forgot what my guy looked like.
Yeah, me too. I have to check every now and then.
I've got a picture of Renlith on my desktop at home.
Oh, nice.
So I can just roll right into being Renlith when I need to in real life.
Okay, so rounding off and reducing down for the nature and fees and consulting fees, I can give you 2,000 gold.
Gee.
This is an outrage.
Insulting.
Do you know who my father is?
No, really, do you know who my father is?
He who
I can't find him. He left for cigarettes 20 years ago.
Can you tell me, or does Renlith recognize like the general weight of these bars versus what would it be essentially a coin?
Is this guy a
How
con
much do
man?
these weigh?
They weigh more than a coin.
Wow.
They're not a perfect. They're not like perfect solid
Mm-hmm.
of the metal, but yeah, they weigh more than a coin. Hold on. Because that was one of the things I was asking. Is like, can you guys hold these things? Because they're heavy.
Are we getting conned?
I don't think we're $100 deal right now. I'm gonna work on
They're about a tenth of a pound each.
Okay.
Which is about 10 times as heavy as a regular coin.
I don't know anything about this stuff.
Me neither. I'm so confused here.
This is the part where they just stare at each other.
The city is so confusing. I feel like a fish out of water.
Oh.
Doo-doo.
I just buy a fishing boat. Or shrimp boat.
Let's just quit the adventuring life and open up a bait shop.
I mean, we could with 2,000 gold.
So my only issue with the price that you've given is it's largely based on I think the main concern is with the platinum pieces. Their relative value seems somewhat undervalued. I understand the fees associated with taking care of the larger quantities.
Well, I gave you a 20% discount or a 20% fee on consulting services, and then 20% fee for the dangerous nature of the items. And well, it's possible that I maybe undervalued your platinum pieces, but it's what I see.
That's understandable. I appreciate that. However, I'm wondering the fee associated with danger. I'm curious about that. Can you please explain that one?
Well, the corrosive nature that you have supplied, and I can't be 100% certain that you've made all of these perfectly safe, and the fact that you told me such dangerous things about them, I seemed appropriate to tack on a 20% fee. We should have done
Seems excessive. And if you have a private room that I might, in a matter of moments, clean them. Just as I did before your eyes here.
Or what if we cleaned them before we gave it to him?
Yes,
Change
but
them.
I'm concerned that there could be some lingering effects on them, so it's a hazardous material fee.
That's understandable. Well, I take back the platinum and I put it in a bag.
Okay.
So, I'm going to take a trip a few hours down and get another assessment. And if you have the best price, then I will be back.
Are you interested, since you've only put platinum, are you interested in selling your copper, silver, and gold strips then?
So the 2,000 gold was just for the platinum?
No, that was all of it.
Oh. Well, I was looking at selling all of it. So I'd much prefer.
If you just want to sell those 3 types of bars, I will sell them, or I will give them to you, or I give you 750 gold.
Like I said, for what amounts of a 40% net loss of value based on the associated fees you've described, I think that it's best for me to weigh my options elsewhere. I appreciate your candor, and I'll be back if what you offer is the best available.
Okay, before you leave, 800 gold for just those 3.
So, out of character here. By my calculations, at this being a gold piece being 1/10 the weight of one of these bars, approximately, and having 77 gold strips, that alone is a base value of 770 gold pieces.
Just out of the material.
Just out of the general material. Now you got to take a lot of that off, obviously, because it's got to be processed, even if it weren't fucking poisoned or whatever. And then it's what amounts to 2,800 silver and 7,110 copper.
To an extent.
So yeah, there's a lot of processing, but him taking
40%.
40% off the top is a little bit It's a little bit steep. Kind of shot myself in the foot by actually warning him, I guess. But yeah, what's done is done. Anywho, we can always come back.
Okay.
Can I get your offer?
Here, we
Can
go
I
back.
get your offer? A written offer
Yeah, like a receipt of.
For just the gold or everything?
for everything. I
Yes.
believe your offer was 2,000 gold.
2,000 gold for everything.
Sure.
What if we take it back? You prestidigitation all of it.